Hi, everybody. I'm Lisa Salgado. We are about to have a huge power shift in City Hall, and citizens are going to be left out if we're not paying attention. Our city administrator, Casey Bradley, hired an outside law firm, Von Briesen, to rewrite our zoning ordinance, taking away power from City Council and Plan Commission. This will allow him to make closed-door deals without your knowledge. I want to cover why the ordinance is being rewritten, what are the impacts, and what you can do about it. First of all, what is a zoning ordinance? It sets the rules for how land and buildings can be used in a city. We don't want factories in neighborhoods, for instance. Why are we doing a complete rewrite anyway? There is no state law that says it has to be done within a certain time period. The mayor stated publicly that zoning hasn't been updated since the 1990s. However, the current existing zoning ordinance and map were done in 2020, and a recodification and changes to Chapter 105, which is the chapter that's being redone right now, was just done in 2023. The city also has a narrative that they want to streamline the process. There are too many boards and they want to eliminate some. However, citizens sit on these boards, and when you remove the boards, you are removing the oversight and input of citizens. City Council said they didn't ask for this change. This new ordinance was initiated by the city administrator and completed by outside law firm Von Briesen. The work was done by city planners. City council members have admitted that they did not have input into the rewrite, and citizens didn't either. This was written by outsiders who don't understand the nuances of Sheboygan. This isn't about efficiency. It's about where power ends up. Under the new zoning ordinance, the city administrator, Casey Bradley, is designated also as the zoning administrator, which is currently being done by Elise Rose. He will be able to approve projects behind closed doors. This did not show up in the document until December 9th of last year. Who benefits from this change? The mayor said it was a typo, but the power structure is written into how the ordinance works. We don't need a complete new rewrite if City Council wants to add accessory dwelling units or protections against data centers. Those can be added with amendments. The intention of this rewrite, when you look at the things that were added, appears to be a power grab. Casey Bradley will be asking the City Council to vote on stripping their own power and the power of future councils by limiting the projects that come before them for approval. Did you know that the original plan was to have City Council vote on this new zoning ordinance the same night as the Amazon deal? This ordinance has been rushed through during the holidays, but citizens pushed back and got it sent back to Plan Commission for February. There was another concentration of power at the May 27th finance meeting last year. There was a new city attorney job description written by outside law firm Von Briesen that slipped in one sentence that the city attorney will report to the city administrator, Casey Bradley. Who gave authorization for that change? It was never discussed at council or flagged at the meeting. On July 7th of last year, the city attorney was changed from elected by citizens to appointed by Casey Bradley and approved by City Council. I checked in with elders recently, and they told me that the city attorney is currently reporting to the city administrator instead of City Council. Why? The Plan Commission's authority to oversee the majority of developer projects will be eliminated, leading to a significant reduction in public scrutiny and accountability for these developments. If you look at the chart on the right, which is in the new zoning ordinance, you'll see that an application or permit is submitted directly to the zoning administrator for decision. The only time it goes to Plan Commission is if it's required by Wisconsin state statute in that box below. This is a list of what is required by state statute. However, this is just the bare minimum of what the Plan Commission is currently reviewing for projects. The requirement for Common Council approval will be removed for nearly all developer projects, with an exception being for planned development district designations. An example of that would be a tiny home village for the unhoused, further decreasing public input. This decision strips power from future city councils as well, who are elected by residents. Currently, you can find developer project plans in city meeting agenda packets, but with the new change, you won't be able to see anything. The only way citizens will find out about projects is when the construction begins. Forget about knowing about projects involving public land and taxpayer money, such as Amazon and the Kohler Golf Course in the town of Wilson. This will be done behind closed doors by one unelected official. He will decide what is built in our city. There won't be any more public hearings where you can voice your concerns over big projects. Citizens were supposed to have a public hearing at the Plan Commission December 23rd before they voted on this new zoning ordinance, but that never happened. The zoning administrator will be able to approve data centers independently without public input or oversight or city council approval. Because data centers are listed in the new zoning ordinance, they will be permitted as an as-of-right use if they meet the listed criteria, which if you look on page 51 of the zoning ordinance is very minimal. There are no protections of our natural resources or quality of life for residents. The penalties section was very concerning as well. Currently, if there are penalty issues, you would go before City Council and you would go into the court system where you could hire a lawyer and fight your case. With this new policy on page 32, the enforcement is done by the zoning administrator and the police department. The fines can range from $1 to $200 per offense, and each day that a violation continues to exist shall constitute a new separate offense. The city may imprison any entity in default of payment in jail until they pay their forfeiture and costs. Imprisonment shall not exceed 30 days for each violation. That's very concerning for citizens, and it puts people with low incomes at risk. The Architectural Review Board was officially dissolved on February 3rd, 2025 by the Mayor and City Council. The powers were given to the Plan Commission, who does not have an architect on the board, and further concentrating decision-making authority. On January 5th of this year, the City Council accidentally approved an ordinance that stripped the Plan Commission's authority for formal plan approval and turned it into an advisory role. The city attorney told both Plan Commission and City Council that they were just moving the committees and boards from one chapter to another in the document, but she did not clearly disclose the change of authority. The mayor later vetoed the ordinance to undo the changes because of citizen pushback. Mayor Sorensen has not only eliminated the Architectural Review Board, but right after his re-election, he also reduced the Sustainability Task Force from 12 members to just 2, preventing it from meeting quorum. This task force addresses issues such as conservation, sustainability, clean water, and climate change. Now who is overseeing these issues? I can't stress to you enough how important this new zoning ordinance is. It affects our daily life. We must stop City Administrator Casey Bradley from being the sole project decision maker while approving projects behind closed doors. Is City Council going to blindly vote to strip their own power? Changes can be made with amendments as needed. The current zoning ordinance is much better than the new one. If this passes, it's game over for Sheboygan. Elected officials will lose all oversight authority over nearly all development projects, regardless of size or controversy. This is going to be the most concerning vote of the year. Please write your alders to vote no to the new zoning ordinance. And please start attending city meetings, especially the Plan Commission and Common Council meetings. It's a lot harder for alders to vote yes when they're looking their constituents in the eye. Also, please share this video. We need to get this information out to all Sheboygan citizens immediately. Thank you.